Most lads who are overweight are overwhelmed before they've even started because every bit of fat loss advice online is like walking into B&Q and every geezer in the aisle is screaming a different answer. Keto, fasting, have butter in your coffee in the morning. What the fuck? And you're stood there thinking, mate, I just want to lose a few kilos. Here's the thing. Fat loss is simple, not easy, but simple. Most lads, though, stay fat because they refuse to accept how simple it actually is. And they would rather use some stupidly complex bullshit solution. And that refusal is why most lads spin their wheels for years instead of just getting lean, which I'm going to help you with today. And it's not because you're thick. I mean, you might be, but that's not why you're struggling here. And it's not because you're lazy, but it's because you don't have a clue what to do. You don't have a plan that fits you and the struggles that you have. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a 7-step process that I'd use with a bloke to go from fat to fit. I've worked with fellas who could barely tie their shoes without holding their breath and sucking in their gut when they started, and 6 months later, they're 20, 30 kilos down, training 3-4 days a week and wondering why the hell they didn't do this sooner. And I'll tell you what I see every single time. They don't fail because they don't know calories matter. It doesn't take a genius to understand, I eat too much pizza, I gain a bit of fat. They fail because they massively underestimate how much fat they've got to lose, and they have no idea what the journey actually looks like and how to do it. And they get sucked into old habits and behaviors that they can't break. And I get it. You're at the point where you're like, oh, fuck, I feel like I'm behind. I've left it get too far. Am I just too old now? You're embarrassed about even starting. Your ego is stopping you from getting any help. And you start thinking stuff like, oh, I'll do it when I get more time. I'll do it I'll do it next week. I'll go at it alone. I've messed up once, so it's ruined already. It's not a discipline issue. That's your brain trying to protect you from discomfort, right? So we're going to remove the mental chaos by giving you a process. And if you find it useful, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. First of all, you need to go into this with realistic expectations. If you are starting at 35% body fat, you need to know the real maths here, because most lads think I'll lose 10, 15 pounds and I'll be lean. You likely won't. Most fellas have a lot more fat to lose than they actually think. Let's give you an example. Let's say you're 225 pounds at 35% body fat. So first you're going to estimate your fat-free mass. 25 minus 35%, roughly 146 pounds of lean mass. Now, what would you weigh at 15% body fat if you kept the same level of lean mass? So 146 divided by 0.85, 172 pounds roughly. So that's 53 pounds to get to 15% body fat. And yeah, that number might make you want to throw up, but at least now you can go into this with realistic expectations. Okay, so here's step 1. First of all, you need to set a calorie target. The easiest thing to do is take your body weight in pounds and multiply it by 10 to 12 to give you your starting calories. Personally, I like to go lower and start more aggressive to get more fat off quicker. It's easier at the start of the diet, less diet fatigue, you've got more motivation, and then you could track towards your calorie target using a calorie tracker, or let me take the thinking out of it for you and use my flexi meal plans. So all you need to do is pick the correct one, pick the options that you like. The link for that is in the description of the video. Step 2 is take control of the diet with the low-hanging fruit. Get rid of the obvious calorie killers, sugary drinks, liquid calories, ultra-processed snacky foods. You don't need to eliminate them completely, but having them less frequently will make the diet a lot easier. Step 3 is reduce takeaway and meal out frequency, because restaurants don't give a shit about your goals. They optimize food for taste, more butter, cream, oil, sugar. Yes, you can pick leaner options 100%. Not that you need to all of the time, but to make fat loss easier for you, eating out less is going to be wise. Because as well, they aren't measuring out their portions inside the restaurant. Even if the calories are on the menu, they are likely off by 20 to 30%. So if you're eating out loads and not seeing progress, that's probably why. Step 4 is to engineer your environment. This is the bit that separates the geezers who succeed from the lads who just try hard. Make sticking to your goals easier. Make eating healthy convenient. Make going off track difficult. Limit access to trigger foods. Get your gym clothes ready the night before so you don't burn mental energy resisting and deciding, or even giving yourself the option to sack it off, because willpower is finite, but systems are not. Step 5 is to do a bad habit inventory. Most people don't have a diet problem. Most people have 2 to 3 habits that completely wipe out their progress. Being a dick at social occasions, going totally overboard, drinking too many beers, eating too much food, emotional eating, habitual Friday night takeaway and a bottle of wine. Write down, where do you feel you struggle? Where do you fall off? And then ask, what's the pattern here? What is the trigger? Because what we need to understand is the habit loop that we're in. We need to understand what's actually going on, right? Okay, well, on a Friday night, I tend to drink a bottle of wine and eat a pizza. Okay, well, why are we doing that? I'm doing that because I've worked hard all week and I want to chill out and relax for the weekend because it's been stressful all week. Okay, sound. So what we're really chasing here is to decompress and relax. Yeah, okay. And is this habit that we're in currently stopping us from losing fat? Yeah, it probably is, because I'm consuming a lot of calories that I'm not taking into account. Okay, so where we need to go from here is, instead of eliminating the habit altogether, we need to replace the routine in which we meet the need that we're trying to meet, because that need will be met at some point, right? You might be able to ignore it for a period of time, but it will get met somehow. Okay, so we need to look at, right, the exact thing that you're chasing is relaxation, decompression, whatever it may be, and then look at how else you can meet that need that works for you, that isn't counterproductive to your goals. And look, you will fuck that up sometimes. That's okay, right? But don't ignore it, learn from it, understand what happened, and then use that information to form a plan for next time. And then just keep putting in the reps until the new response becomes your new normal, because over time, with continued repetition, it will. Step 6 is to protect muscle mass, or you will end up skinny fat. This is where a lot of fellas get it wrong. They think weight loss is the goal, but weight loss and fat loss are not the same thing. We want to lose fat, we want to get leaner, we don't want to get smaller. So the 4 rules to protect and even build muscle: lift weights on a set program 2 to 5 times per week, right? Just because you're dieting doesn't mean you can't train hard. You can. Oh, but I have no energy. Body fat is stored energy. You have energy. You can still build muscle dieting. We need to make sure we're maintaining a high level of protein, 0.7 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. It's great. If you're carrying more body fat, use your ideal body weight. Maintain a high level of sleep, 7 to 9 hours of good quality sleep. So here are 3 rules to protect and even build muscle. Tick those boxes, and not only are you going to preserve muscle, you will even build it. And step 7 is to get your head straight. Accept you're going to fuck up. Most lads quit because their brain talks them out of it. If I can't do it perfectly, I might as well not do it. One cookie means the diet is over. I'll start Monday. That is you letting yourself off the hook. You don't need to be perfect. You will fuck up, no doubt. Life's going to kick you in the dick sometimes, and that's okay, which is exactly why with our clients, we use our adherence builder, which helps you build a tiered approach so that you can be consistent no matter what. The name of the game is to always keep the car moving forwards, albeit sometimes slower than others. I've recorded a full video on this, which I'm going to link here so you can go and build your own. I hope this was helpful.